So when it comes to Lonzo Ball, I definitely thought the Pelicans were going to lose him at the trade deadline. I was prepared for life without Lonzo Ball, as hard as that is to say. And, as a Pelicans fan, losing Lonzo Ball would be tough because we've stuck with him through all of the tough times. I don't care what Lakers fans say.
Whoa.
We stuck with him through the truly tough times.
Truly
and now
tough.
he's having his best season in New Orleans. And you're telling me we're going to lose him? Sounds crazy, right?
Wait, hold on. What is your definition of truly tough times? Because I don't think it gets tougher than playing under the spotlights of LA, being told by Magic Johnson, don't break too many of my records, and then having your dad come and constantly micromanage your career and eventually get traded to the Pelicans for, obviously, Anthony Davis. So what's your definition of tough times? Because you guys got Lonzo.
I think Coop's definition of tough times is different than everyone's because the New Orleans franchise as a whole is just one tough time, basically. So,
whoa!
I mean, there's a little bit there, but yeah,
Yo.
I mean, Lonzo in his second season with you guys has at least been good.
Yeah, no, he definitely improved in New Orleans, but it was a struggle, man. We had to put up with so many inconsistencies when it comes to Lonzo Ball, and even because he got out of LA, he went to New Orleans, less spotlight, but still, everybody's talking about what Lonzo Ball's doing. Everybody's focused on, Lonzo Ball. What's his next move? It kind of weighs on you. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that. You're saying that the pressure that Lonzo Ball faces ever since he entered the NBA is tremendous.
The Lakers.
Wait, 1 second. One quick question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel Lonzo Ball has been as a Pelican? Because you guys are a franchise right now that is going to have to make a decision. You now have a restricted free agent. So how do you feel? Like, what do you think he's going to be for you going forward? Or are you giving up on him?
When it comes to the Lakers, when I say tough times, there was nothing tough about Lonzo in LA. This is a young player. I mean, okay, there were some tough things. Yeah, he did have the spotlight of his father. Yeah, he was really inconsistent. Yeah, he was playing, under the scrutiny of possibly being traded every day. I really felt bad for Brandon Ingram and, all those Lakers guys in that situation. But for the Lakers, I still think having Lonzo Ball was a lot easier than, Lonzo Ball being a Pelican. Because the Pelicans, they have, like Korzemba said, we have to make a decision now with Lonzo Ball. The Lakers, they had to make an easy decision. Are we going to trade Lonzo Ball for Anthony Davis? Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? So now the Pelicans are put in this position where it's pay Lonzo Ball possibly more than he's worth, or end up losing Lonzo Ball for nothing in restricted free agency. Now, this is a decision that could affect the Pelicans' future as we know it, because you guys know we already got Eric Bledsoe under contract. We already paid Steven Adams. So I mean,
are you willing to give up Eric Bledsoe in order to get Lonzo? Because from what I've read, the Pelicans don't want to go too into the luxury tax. And I know with having Eric Bledsoe's contract and then a potential big Lonzo Ball contract on top of Josh Hart, who is also going to be a restricted free agent, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
He's going to be a
so on top of that,
agent.
you guys would be going into the luxury. From what I've read, from everything I've seen, it looks like it would be a choice between Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo. I mean,
okay,
can they even get rid of Eric Bledsoe at this point?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
his contract?
Yeah.
He's not having a great season.
I mean, if you attach a pick to Eric Bledsoe, you could get rid of him, no problem. My thing is, I thought they were going to use Lonzo to get rid of Bledsoe at the deadline. That didn't happen. Now, I've also seen a few beat writers say that the Pelicans can sign Lonzo and Josh Hart to lucrative contracts this offseason. I don't know how true that is. But
I think they can. I think they're good there when it comes to it. I think it depends on the luxury tax, how much your owner is willing to go into that, which of course, plays a huge role on with everything. Now, my question for you is obviously this is going to be a huge decision. What happens? You guys just got nothing for him, come the trade deadline. What happens? New York Knicks come around. All right. There's been a lot of talk about the Bulls, and we could get into that. We could get into the Bulls with Lonzo. I would love them. But the Knicks, though, when it comes down to that, What happens if they're like, you know what? Madison Square Garden, Lonzo Ball. Let's get some tickets sold. Let's offer that 25 million. Let's overpay.
What do you
now
want to
what
say,
do the
Mike?
Pelicans do?
What do you want to say, Mike? Flight Mike, what do you want to say?
I mean, it's like Korzemba's telling the future here because it's such a Knicks thing to do, and
it seems like it's gonna happen.
We've been seeing all these hints, like something that no one talks about anymore now that the trade deadline's done, and the whole reason why there was so much smoke being pumped into this whole Lonzo Ball situation is his dad literally came out and gave this interview where he said, obviously his words may have been mixed up, but the vibe you get from the interview is, hey, Lonzo Ball, he's doing great, but he's not necessarily happy with his role. And at face value, you're thinking it's LeVar being LeVar, but when you look at what Lonzo's role really is, he went from being the man that was facilitating the offense, which is what he was doing in Alvin Gentry's offense, which is a little bit more up-tempo than Stan Van Gundy's offense, which is a much reduced pace, to just spotting up for three. And yeah, it's working wonders. His three-point percentage has gone up, but it's not necessarily something that would you feel comfortable with paying Lonzo Ball like $22 or $23 million a year just to spot up at three and hit wide open threes out of 40 something?
I wouldn't.
No.
I think personally that it would be very foolish for the New Orleans Pelicans, and I don't even see a world where the New Orleans Pelicans match a contract for Lonzo that is in the range of $20 million, simply because the guys that you drafted this year and even other guards that you drafted in the past, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Kyra Lewis. Kyra Lewis, literally, his entire draft comparison and draft profile is this dude could spot up and shoot. So why would you go and pay someone $20 million to spot up and shoot when you do have the shooting coach? You have Fred Vinson. The man literally
he's unbelievable. He's got Zion shooting like drastically improved from the free throw line.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, you have him. So why would you pay someone $21 million when you have a guy on a rookie scale contract that could do the exact same thing for you with the same shooting coach? Now, look, of course, developing a jump shot is very, very, very difficult. And I can only imagine the amount of work Lonzo had to put in before he got his brand new jump shot down. But we're talking about a team that's not a large market. We're talking about a guy that has a huge name despite putting average to above average statistics. Some team is going to overpay this guy. You guys can't afford to match that contract. And I think as a result, there was a little bit of a mistake made when Lonzo wasn't traded. And I think he is probably going to move on this offseason.
Yeah. So my thing is what you said, the Pelicans aren't a large market. That's working against them and that's a reason to kind of think about paying Lonzo, because who's really coming to New Orleans, Now,
I would like to say, I think that's a mistake. I think you got to bank on, at that point, you have to bank on your drafting. You have to bank on getting those sneaky free agents. I think saying that whole, who else is going to come here? I would love to do like an analysis on that and like look into this more. Okay,
I don't know. I think that's a valid point.
It's scary though, because then
it's scary.
You might commit yourself to mediocrity. You might commit yourself to an Anthony Davis type situation. You think about it. Anthony Davis, the Pelicans, when they had him, they were trying to win now.
Unpopular opinion. There were some good teams around Anthony Davis.
I agree that there were some good teams, but where is he playing right now?
I mean, that was going to happen regardless. Kendrick
if
Perkins
you commit,
was like
I'm just saying, if you commit that much, like a chunk of salary to Lonzo Ball, like that plays into the futures of both Brandon Ingram and Zion as well.
So check this out. Check this out, Korzemba. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Zoe's backup, is averaging 19.3 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists per game, per 36 in March. Since he's become a starter, these are his numbers. That's how good Nickeil Alexander-Walker has been.
I want to get a closing statement because we've been discussing Lonzo before we get to Andre Drummond and whatnot. Coop, in your ideal world, what is Lonzo Ball's fate in New Orleans? What do the Pelicans do? Say if you're the general manager of the Pelicans, what do they do in the summer?
I think if Lonzo wants to be there, you entertain Lonzo possibly being there. I think if I'm the Pelicans, I want to see more growth from him as a player. If Lonzo ends up showing that, he's a great fit next to Zion, which, it already seems like he is. If it seems like he's that guy that can push 16 plus points per game, maybe do a little more off the dribble, continue progressing in the in-between area, get better at finishing to the rim. I don't know what happened from LA to New Orleans. It felt like he was much more aggressive attacking the basket in LA and finishing around the rim. But if he shows you those things, I think you definitely let the market play out. And at the end of the day, if the market dictates that, he's getting 22 plus million, I say, man, appreciate your services, though.